When it comes to curbside recycling, it turns out that 15% of Australians put the wrong thing in the wrong bin. So today I'm going to talk through a couple of the most common misconceptions when it comes to your curbside recycling. Single-use coffee cups cannot go into your curbside recycling bin. The reason why is that there is a lining of plastic in here, which means that your coffee doesn't seep through to your hands, but it means that the curbside recycling bin doesn't want it. The other thing is the lids. They're too small and they're often made from polystyrene, which we don't want to be putting into your curbside recycling bin. Now, when it comes to fires that unfortunately are happening way too often, not only in your rubbish trucks on the road, but also in recycling facilities, the leading cause of these is actually batteries. So we want to keep them out of all of your household bins, and you need to dispose of them responsibly, whether that be with your council, whether it be with Aldi, or also Officeworks also have battery drop-off points. So in really devastating news for a lot of you out there, Tetra Paks, generally speaking, can't be curbside recycled. These are the packets that will often have your long life milks in them. The reason why is that these walls are actually lined with not one, but 6 different layers. Each layer is a different material. There's aluminium, plastic, and paper. This means that the paper recyclers don't want them, the aluminium recyclers don't want them either, and neither do the plastic recyclers. So you need to put these ones in your landfill bin. When it comes to recycling at home, you really need to think about the size rule. And what I like to do is I like to get out some kind of card of some description, and anything that's smaller than a card can't go into your recycling bin. So simply pop them on top, and then I can see that these bottle top lids are way too small to go into your curbside recycling bin, as is the same with little bread tags, the soy sauce fishies, and coffee pods. A question that I get asked pretty much daily is how clean does your recycling need to be to go in the bin? Now, you don't need to run a whole dishwasher load filled with all of your rubbish, but I do like to give everything a little bit of a rinse just so that it's not as dirty as something like this. So remove all of that bolognese and all of that old Thai food from your takeaway containers before putting them into your recycling bin. So you've probably seen in your latest online shopping deliveries all of these little peanuts that are appearing. Now, it's actually a really common misconception that these aren't actually made from polystyrene, but they're actually made from corn. We call these corn peanuts, and they're actually biodegradable. So you could even eat them if you wanted to. But the best way to dispose of them isn't by putting them in your recycling bin, but you can actually put them in your garden, or you can even dissolve them in water. My favourite way to get rid of these is actually by putting them on my garden or putting them into my compost bin. But if you don't have one of those, then just dissolving them in your sink with lots of water is a really great way to get rid of them. So many people do the right thing when it comes to recycling, but they fall and they trip at the final hurdle, and that is by bagging up their recycling. This household has sorted everything. They put it all into a plastic bag though, and if this plastic bag were to go into this recycling bin, at the recycling facilities, they would just see it as trash and it would just go straight to landfill. So what you need to do with this is just empty it out and leave it all loose in your recycling bin. So there are just a couple of different tips when it comes to recycling at home, but the biggest thing that you need to do is actually check with your local council, because every single council in Australia recycles differently, so they should be your shining light when it comes to recycling in your home.